Sister Severine, once again, I have the pleasure of being here with you, of having these conversations, of having these, let's say, very eye-opening discourses in terms of things that are troubling to the everyday individual, not the spiritual seeker, not the person who is seeking some sort of enlightenment, but to the everyday individual who is having what we would consider normal problems. And one of those normal problems that it applies, I think, across the board. It could be professionally, it could be personally in terms of parent-child relationship, it could be between spouses. Sometimes our relationships seem to let's say, not be harmonious. It is, sometimes we are good in our relationships, and then all of a sudden we have is a disruption. It is turbulent. What causes disharmony in a relationship?
Nice. I would say the main problem in any relationship is expectations. An expectation stems from desires. It's like, let's say, there's a husband and wife, and of course, both expect from each other. And for some reason, husband does not like red, but the wife likes red, the color red. So she went and she bought a red dress, a red outfit. And here they both have to go out, and she wears this red outfit. And she knows that her husband does not like red, but she feels so comfortable with the relationship that she wear the red. And when he saw her, he's telling her, you know, I don't like red, why did you wear red? And for her, it will be like, okay, you don't like red, but I like red. So why should I change my desire or my option or my love for red to make you happy? And so this kinds of expectation where the husband expects that he loves his wife so wholly and solely that she must do everything the way he wants it to be done. And she will think the contrary, that he loves me so much that he will not mind if I do what I like. And so these simple, let us call it disagreements that stems from expectations starts causing, let's say, little disruptions or little problems in the relationship. But then it starts to extend. Extend means, okay, the next day she might cook something that he don't like. And then the same issue again. You know, I don't like this, but you make it for me. But it's what he likes and what she don't like. So she would like what she likes. She would prepare what she likes, even if he doesn't like it. Because in her mind, her husband accepts her as she is. So she thinks and she feels very comfortable making whatever she likes, even though he may not like it, with the expectation that he will accept it. But in his mind, he's thinking that she knows I don't like this, yet she makes this. And this starts creating in him like small irritations. And each time she does something that he does not like, then this irritation starts growing. It begins to grow. And every day it's like something more and more and more, until he reaches a point where, let's say, he bursts out. He say, you keep doing things that I don't like. And she, on the other hand, well, think well, why must I do things that only you like? I will do things that I like also, and that is her rights. So she is right in one way, but they both are having expectation. So she expects that he will accept everything that she does, and he have the expectation also that she will do things to please him, and it is not working out. So expectation means that we are having desires that are not being fulfilled by each other. I expect from you, you expect from me, and what I expect from you is not being fulfilled, and vice versa. So expectations and unfulfilled desires leads to terrible problems in relationships. And when these things happens, then either one, sometimes both of them, they feel unaccepted or unwanted, unloved. And once you're not happy in a relationship, if you don't feel loved in a relationship, then what starts happening is that either one, could be husband or the wife, they start looking for that love somewhere else, outside. They start looking for appreciation on the outside. They start looking for acceptance on the outside. And wherever they find that love and appreciation or acceptance that they feel they want, they will be drawn to that individual. And once they are drawn to that individual and they start feeling comfortable, then they will start spending time with that individual. Because what they're getting with this outside individual, they are not getting it from the inside relationship. And so this starts creating this harmony, or let's say bad relationship between husbands and wives. And so let's say a couple has been married for 20 years, could be 20 years even, 10 years, and suddenly start having an outside relationship where he feels more comfortable and more accepted and wanted. So what starts happening there is that husband gets to know that wife is having an outside relationship. So, and he starts questioning her, why are you doing this to me? And in a very rare situation, a responsible individual will start questioning themselves. Where did I go wrong? We hardly question ourselves. It's very easy for anyone to start questioning the other individual. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do? And things like this. So here, everyone starts blaming this wife, let's say, whether it is the husband and his family, or even her side of the family, her friends, his friends, and worse if they had children. What will the children start thinking about their mother? So how many people starts going against this outside relationship or this relationship, and everyone will start blaming her, because no one, absolutely no one, tries to put themselves, let's say, we say walk in my shoes, means put yourself in my position. Here I am in a house, in a home, where I don't feel accepted, I don't feel wanted, I don't feel loved. But I go on the outside and I get that love, that appreciation or acceptance that I want. So where where the problem lies. The problem is not because of one individual, but it has to be between both of them. Now, if this wife realized that she was not loved, did not feel wanted or accepted by the husband, it was her duty, one, to sit with him and discuss the matter with him. This is the way I feel. But if he was never in a position where she feels comfortable to talk to him, to discuss the problem with him, then she will not do it, but instead look outside for the love and acceptance that she wants. He, on the other side, will start blaming her without trying to understand for himself, where did I go wrong? And it's very difficult for anyone or someone to look at themselves. It's very easy to look at others. It's very easy to see someone else's fault, someone else's defects, and it's always very difficult to see your own defects and your own faults, until maybe someone might point it out to you. But here am I, in the home, with my children, having to face the fact that my wife is having an outside relationship. It's very hard to digest. These children even will start judging their mother differently. They don't want to know what happened. Sometimes no one takes the time to really try to understand the situation. Why was this happening? For how long it has been happening and no one knew. So there is a quick judgment, a judgmental situation here, where everyone starts judging this individual wrongly. Until you don't find yourself in that same position, you will never understand the feeling of someone else. Everyone and anyone would be drawn and attracted to someone or some place or home where they are feel or they experience love. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be appreciated. Everyone wants to feel that they are accepted by their loved ones. And if that doesn't happen, then they quickly go to those places or those individuals where they feel loved. So here, so many people are now suffering because of the action of one individual, one or two individuals. It's a both-sided thing. It's never a one-sided thing, you know. Problem in a relationship is never one-sided. It's always two-sided. Because if two individuals really and truly love each other, no matter what, there is no need for one individual in that relationship to leave. If there is good understanding, they accept each other for who they are. One of the individual will never leave and go and find love somewhere else. Never. So the reason why one will leave is because he or she is not comfortable in that relationship. They are not happy. So it's always a two-sided matter or issue. Means both individuals have to start checking themselves. Where did I go wrong? What do I need to maybe buck up on, as we say here in Trinidad? Or what do I need to change in me so that my relationship with my wife or my husband will be different or be better? And so here, husband is suffering, children are suffering, and families on both sides are suffering, simply because one or two individuals starts making the wrong decisions. But who is wrong and who is right? That's the next question. Is she or was she wrong to find love outside? Everyone will start blaming her, that she left because she found someone else. But why did she go and find someone else or look for someone else? Simply because there was room. Room means there was this big gap in her relationship with her husband, which actually forced her to find a love outside. Big gap means maybe, who knows, for days there is no talking, or even if there is some talking or conversation between them, it is never sweet, it is never loving, it is never peaceful. So the language that they use might not be pleasant. And all of these things add to a good relationship. Speaking nicely, speaking sweetly, speaking lovingly with my spouse is so important. But you know, when we take things for granted, in the sense that she's my wife no matter what, she know I love her no matter what, and vice versa. He know I love him no matter what, and she also thinks, you know, he loved me for however I am or whatever I am, so I can do whatever I want. But that's not the case. In a relationship, it always takes two individuals to accept each other mutually. Mutual means, if my wife loves red, I must accept her as she is. And if I like black and she doesn't like black, because I love black, she should accept me as I am. Mutual relationship means both come to the same agreement. And once there is an agreement between both, acceptance of both, then our relationship could run smoothly, as we say. So here we have the children also suffering. And can you imagine how many thoughts and not positive thoughts starts popping up in the minds of these children about their mother also? My mother left us, our mother left us for someone else, not knowing the cause, the reason why she left. So how many people are creating thoughts about this individual, some without knowing the truth? And because you don't know the truth, you don't know why it's happening that way, we are creating here a lot of mostly negative thoughts, not positive ones. So can you imagine what kind of energy, vibrations are reaching this individual? It means that emotionally, so many people are suffering. And what kind of thoughts will emerge from a suffering mind, an emotionally imbalanced mind? Negative thoughts. Thoughts of judgment, judgmental thoughts. Thoughts of why did you do this? And so we are sending all these negative vibrations to this individual. And what negative vibrations do? Negative energy is such that wherever negative energy is being projected, let's say you have a plant or these flowers, and here I am sitting creating a lot of negative thoughts about whatever in my mind. This flower, this plant has the ability to pick up, to absorb all this negativity. And this plant will then react towards this negativity. And so this plant next to me will naturally start withering, dying. Anything that is being fed with negativity will start getting damaged and destroyed. And so here I am sending all this negative energy to this individual. What will start happening in the mind of that individual? She or he also will start having similar thoughts. A lot of negative thoughts. Thoughts of what? Confusion. Confusion means you don't know what is right, what is wrong and what is right. So here I am thinking, I am not sure if I made the right decision. But at the same time, consciously you feel that I had made the right decision because now I am happy. But on the other hand, my children are suffering. So there is a confusion. I am happy in this relationship now, but on the other hand, I am not happy because my children are not happy. Can you imagine if those children see the mother? How will they face each other? She knows that her children are suffering. Very well knows. But no matter how much explanation she gives to them or she explained to them, this is why I did this, they will not be able to understand it at that point. If before she went into that relationship, she had explained to them, well, this is the problem. I am not happy here. I am making the decision to move out, let's say. Before taking the decision, if they had understood her problem, it would have been easier for them and for her. Now, taking the rash decision to just leave without any explanation has created a tumultuous amount of thoughts, negative thoughts, for everyone who is connected to this individual. So understanding is so important. Understanding and taking the right decision at the right time is also very, very important. And what is the right decision? The right decision is what will make everyone happy. That's the right decision. And that means I may have to go beyond expectations of myself as well as others. And if we could understand and learn to accept each other for who they are, and accept yourself for who you are, then we could have established a beautiful relationship. And so I invite you to a few minutes of meditation where we can reflect on our own relationship with the people we live with, the people we come into contact with, be it my family members, my peers, my co-workers. What kind of relationship do I have with everyone? And as I think and reflect, I can see that my decisions, my judgments, my power to discern will come from a stable mind. An emotionally healthy mind will help me to understand and to accept the situations that I am in. And if I am not happy in the relationship that I am, it clearly shows that I have expectations from the people who I love. And if I really love someone, then no matter what the situations may be, what the circumstances will be, I will learn to appreciate, to accept, and to love that individual. In the end, my relationship with others begins with me. And as I reflect, I learn to see what are my own defects, what are my own needs, what are my own desires. And if I am having unfulfilled desires in my mind, and if I have expectations on others, then I can never be happy. In order for me to be happy, to be at peace, I have to learn to accept my relationship with others by accepting their personality, by understanding their needs also. Because I understand that to keep a good relationship depends on me first. If I continue having expectations on others, and I understand that that one will not change as per my desire, then I have to start to accept that one for who and how he is. As I continue to reflect, I begin to see myself in a harmonious relationship with the people I love. And instead of accepting, expecting from others, instead of wanting and only taking, I learn to give. I give love, I receive love. I give respect, I get respect. And so whatever I give to others is what I earn in return. Thank you.
Sponsored by Sampex Limited, networking societies for a better future.